Good morning and welcome to the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on September 17th, 2024. We're running a couple of minutes behind. It's 9:32. At this time, Magistrate Bleemer, would you mind leading us in invocation and the pledge, please?
Let's pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you this morning just thank you and praise you for your many blessings, Lord. We just pray that you continue to watch over us and guide us. We pray that you be with this county, with the state, with our nation. We just pray that you help us make good decisions here today, and that issues would be resolved if there's any. And we just pray that you would continue to watch over us and guide us.
Thank you, Brian. At this time, Sam, if you'd call the roll, please.
Sarah Sanders.
Present.
Sean Logston.
Here.
Karen Johnson.
Here.
Brian Bleemel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
All present.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes from the September 3rd, 2024 Bullitt County Fiscal Court meeting.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes dated September 3rd, 2024. Second.
Got a motion by Second District Magistrate Logston, a second by Fourth District Magistrate Bleemel to approve the Bullitt County Fiscal Court meeting minutes of September 3rd, 2024 as presented. Sam, call the roll, please.
Logston.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Bleemel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Sanders.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. The Treasurer's Transfer Report, Canan.
Yes, Judge, and that would be for September the 17th of 2024 for your approval, please.
Okay.
Make a motion, we approve the treasurer's transfer report from September 17th.
Second.
Got a motion by Fourth District Magistrate Bleemel, a second by Second District Magistrate Logston to approve the Treasurer's Transfer Report as presented. Sam, call the roll.
Johnson.
Yes.
Bleemel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Sanders.
Yes.
Logston.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Presentation and approval of all bills.
I make a motion that we accept the presentation and approvals of all bills.
I'll second.
I have a motion by First District Magistrate Sanders, a second by Third District Magistrate Johnson to approve the bills as presented at the September 17th meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court. Sam, call the roll, please.
Bleemel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Sanders.
Yes.
Logston.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Treasurer's report, Canan.
Yes, sir, and that involves the appropriation condition report, a revenue condition report, an interfund cash transfer report, and a financial statement through August 31st of 2024 for your approval.
I make a motion that we accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
Got a motion by First District Magistrate Sanders, a second by Second District Magistrate Logston to approve the Treasurer's report as presented at the September 17th meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court. Sam, call the roll, please.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Sanders.
Yes.
Logston.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Bleemel.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Thank you, Canan. Guest speakers, Chris Jones about the EPAD ordinance, EPAD. I did get your email. Thank you.
All right, very good. Good morning, everyone. So, probably getting tired of seeing my face, but again, Chris Jones, Energize Kentucky. This is in regards to the Energy Project Assessment District Ordinance for the, the information that has been provided to you now, the multifamily market rate development, and, I've previously sent this information to you all with regards to now the specific project. And just as a kind of a reminder on timings, I was here in February with just kind of an initial presentation. Since the court read the first ordinance back in June, and then since that time there has been edits to the ordinance, working with Tammy, and thank you for all the work that Tammy has put in. It is very tedious, I know, but I think that we're at a point where the edits have been made to the ordinance. The ordinance goes along with an interlocal agreement, which just kind of details the special assessment. Again, this is for special assessment financing for the private development, and so the interlocal agreement would be at this point the judge executive and the clerk, as we have edited it down, and then also a program administration agreement for Energize Kentucky at no cost to the county to facilitate and manage the program. So again, I did provide the support document. Timing-wise, we were hoping that the ordinance could have been read today, to where we then could get the interlocal signed, approved by the AG in time for the developer then to come in for project approval at the October 1st meeting. And so that is kind of where we are. I don't know if we're at a point where we can actually read the ordinance today. I think the ordinance really refers to the interlocal agreement being in substantial form to then have the judge executive execute that. But I'll kind of stop there.
And Judge and Court, we have had some meetings. They were able to make the edits that were requested by the sheriff. So I think at this point, I don't want to speak for the sheriff, but I believe he's okay because he's kind of taken out of the process at this point. But I still need time to meet with Kevin Mooney because he still is a signatory on the agreement.
Okay.
And so I mean, I don't know if we want to do it at the next meeting, but I need time to meet with Kevin to go over it.
That'll be fine. Let's try to get that done on the October 1 meeting.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. And I also would just make the point, and I know Tammy, knows this, and, the clerk as well, is that, we're not asking the clerk to do anything different, from a delinquent, tax situation if this this special assessment would ultimately go into a delinquency, which would be, very, very unlikely because, again, just to remind everyone how this works is that the actual mortgage lender has to provide a consent to this special assessment. And if there was a worst case, foreclosure type of scenario, that mortgage lender would be really the one that would step up and pay the governmental taxes plus a special assessment so they could control any foreclosure. So this would even be a, worst, kind of case scenario. But
We do have to prepare for the worst.
correct, that is absolutely right. And that has been in, the 24 that we've done prior to coming to you all as a county as well. So this is not the first time this is being done in Kentucky. So.
Okay. All right.
All right, thank
Well,
you.
thank you,
Thank you for
Chris.
your all time.
Thanks, Chris.
Charlie, Metter, dog ordinance?
Good morning.
Morning, Charlie. That's okay.
We like seeing you.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for entertaining me all these months on this crazy project with the dog ordinance. So, since we've last met, and the last meeting, there's been a couple annoying little instances, one of which Karen will probably share with you guys later, but or even offline. So this morning at the bus stop, we were met once again by the Blue Heeler that is always there, that lives down the road. The difference right now is that a divorce has caused 3 other kids, so now there's only 3 kids getting on the bus instead of 6 right there. And that person lived close enough they would pretty much keep that dog at bay. The owner says, hey, agriculture zoned out here. Have a nice day. So in the restraint section, as Karen and I spoke briefly this morning, and Vera and I have spoken in the past, it seems that, and we've spoke, it seems the intent is to not restrict people on their own property. But it doesn't so state that in the ordinance. And my concern, and it may be because, the only reason the United States military puts anybody in is recruiters are very good at finding loopholes, and that's what I did for 17 years. It doesn't state that in there. And so we still have the potential for a dog owner to say, this area is agricultural zone, and it not carrying the actual intent. Because if the intent is that we're able to, on ag zoning and conservation zoning, our own property or property we lease and have a right to, then it's not clearly stated in there. So
I have a question. So what was the dog doing at the bus stop? Maybe I missed that
it
part.
waits for the kids to get out of the vehicles or show up at the bus stop and runs over and wants to play. And
Well, that's going to be a violation of the ordinance.
It-
If it's leaving its property, that's going to be a violation of the
I
ordinance.
understand. I understand that. So, but when we were talking this morning, and people read this and they think, well, this is the agriculture zoned area, and then animal control doesn't know when they show up on scene of what the zoning is. So if we add a layer, I just add a couple words in there to clarify that this intention to this is on the owner's own property, it would alleviate some issues, some potential issues, in my opinion. And of course, my opinion might be wrong, but it's, you know, in my opinion, I think we need to clarify that just a touch more to ease enforcement, especially as we work on getting animal control their citation authority back.
I'm a little confused because I thought last meeting when we talked about it didn't dictate whether the zoning, the ordinance basically stated, you know, it needs to remain on your property regardless of the zoning.
Section 8, I believe, Mr. Logan.
So as far as animal control is concerned, based on that last ordinance that was read, they shouldn't even be asking questions what the zoning is because it doesn't matter. They should be asking whose property this
With
is.
section 2, restraint required, it says, A, all animals designated either pets or working animals shall at all times be kept under restraint as defined by ordinance, except as otherwise provided herein. B, area or property zoned for agriculture shall be exempt from the restraint requirements specified in section 1A. C, in any area or property zoned for conservation may be exempt from the restraint requirements specified in section 1A. So we say you got to keep your animal restrained properly at all times, well, except in these two zonings. And it doesn't clarify that that's only me on my agriculturally zoned property. It's not me walking down the road between 3 farms or properties that are 5 to 10 acres and there's a mountain of confusion.
So you think that means that if I have agricultural property, I can take my dog anywhere I want off
No.
of my property, off of restraint?
No, I think
Okay, that's not what that says.
I know.
Okay.
I think what the way one of the interpretations of this is that these are all properties over 10 acres, which is what we're dealing with in our neighborhood. And the KRS says properties of 10 acres will be considered agriculturally zoned, but there's a whole bunch of paperwork you have to go through and prove you have an agricultural product produced and all that stuff. And they say this whole area is agriculturally zoned, so we don't have to do anything restraining our dogs. It says it in the ordinance.
But the ordinance also says that if the dog leaves
Further
your
on,
property,
yes.
you're in
Right,
violation, so.
Right, further on. So, I mean, if you think it's covered,
I do.
then we'll just go forward with it, but. All right. The only other thing I have is, I was really impressed the last meeting with the way that you guys safeguard the county and approach decisions. And so one of the examples is Jen and I have a background in HR, organizational development kind of things. And with the challenges with the EMS hours and stuff, it seems like it's easy, but it's not. Because every turn that you take with something like that has second and third order effects. And you guys are very clearly looking out for everything. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Okay.
Just real quick, Judge, if you don't mind. That ordinance that was revised, is it in effect right now?
No, and I didn't.
To kind of help him out a little bit more, I mean, when does it actually, what's
We
the
haven't
next?
had a second reading, and I didn't even realize until we started talking about it that the second reading's not on the agenda.
Okay.
So it's ready for a second reading.
Okay.
So at our next meeting, we will have a second reading.
We have to advertise the second reading?
We done have.
Okay. We could just do the second reading later on or something, get knocked out of the way?
Yep.
Okay, maybe later, okay.
Okay.
Next.
Okay, Mr. Sidnor from MSD and your co-workers or your team that you have with you, if you can introduce all of them as well, because I know a couple of them. Some of them live here in Bullitt County.
No, if you don't have enough. Let's get rid of it.
Thank you, Bud.
Thanks.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning,
I'm Tony Parrott. I'm the Executive Director of the Metropolitan Sewer District. And just want to thank you for an opportunity to come in and give an update to the Fiscal Court. I'd like to introduce a couple of my team members for everybody. Mr. David Johnson, stand up, is our Chief Engineer. A lot of you probably know David. He lives here in Bullitt County.
Yep.
Mr. Joey Aspey, he's our Senior Collection Systems Engineer. Carmen Moreno Rivera is my Chief of Staff. And of course, everybody knows Wes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would just start by, first of all, just saying, Judge, thank you for all the support and working with us and the advocacy that you provide us. as we take on this partnership in serving Bullitt County. You have been just a godsend to help us in so many areas, and we really appreciate that and really value the relationship and the partnership that we have. I've handed out just a quick presentation just to kind of give you an update of kind of where we are. As you all know, we acquired the Bullitt County Sanitation District System back in 2020. And, you know, obviously at that time, we knew that there were a lot of issues and a lot of things that we were going to be doing. And so that system now is a part of a lot of work that MSD has done to address a lot of different things, such as system overflows. We also knew that there were a lot of I&I or inflow and infiltration issues that we were taking on, a lot of system defects, mostly because of just antiquated systems. A lot of issues with roots, getting into pipes and causing issues in the collection system. We knew that there were existing bypasses at a lot of the treatment plants, which was really a regulatory issue that we knew we were going to have to deal with. Capacity limitations at the treatment plants, which also restricted development in a lot of parts of the county that we were aware of, and a lot of underinvestment in infrastructure. And so all of those things, obviously, we knew there were a lot of permit violations, and we also knew that there were a lot of issues relative to our operators who have to come in and operate these facilities, some safety improvements and other things that we needed to do. We have identified a lot of stuff, and we immediately began working with the Kentucky Division of Water to address what we were looked at in terms of looking at what we would have to do to address a lot of these issues. And the Division of Water kind of worked with us, and we've kind of come up with a three-phased approach to address some of the things that needed to be done in Bullitt County. The first phase, which has been completed and approved on May 30th, really looked at a lot of things that we were doing with addressing sewer overflow, addressing capacity in the system. We completed a major facility plan, which was approved. We did that back in July 1st of 2022. And we've put out a schedule for interim plan and improvements for several wastewater treatment plants, including Pioneer Village, Hillview 3, Willowbrook, and Prologis. And we also have a schedule for pump station improvements and plan for the elimination of the Big Valley wastewater treatment plant. All of those things were submitted and approved by the state, and we moved into what we would call the intermediate phase. The intermediate phase was submitted and approved by the Division of Water in January 30th of this year, where we put out a schedule and a conceptual plan for Hillview 1 elimination. We also put out a schedule and a conceptual plan to reduce flow from the Bullitt Hills wastewater treatment plant, which I'll talk about in a second. A long-term plan to address the feasibility of a regional wastewater treatment plan, and a schedule for gravity sewer improvements. And again, those intermediate intermediate phase is approved by the Division of Water. So in a long-term phase, which stretches out through January of 2029, it's going to include a schedule to replace or eliminate package plants in the associated collection system. A lot of those small plants are not working properly, and we need to get rid of them. We've put out a schedule to develop and implement a regionalization plan. And we've also put out a schedule identifying and mitigating remaining sanitary sewer overflows, which the state, under state regulations, is illegal. So we're going to be working on those long-term plans, but what I wanted to be able to do today is to kind of show you, as we have every year we do a 5-year capital improvement plan, and it's sort of a rolling 5-year where it's updated every year. Our fiscal years run from June through July. I'm sorry, July through June. I got it backwards. The example that's on the slide there gives you an idea of what type of capital investments that we're going to be making, and it's really based upon, our financial capabilities to be able to do work. As you can see, for fiscal year 25, we have projects of approximately $9 million is our target. And as you look out through fiscal year 29, the 5-year total, we have a target of approximately $31 million of improvements, but we have projects to where we're actually going to have to spend about $47 million. And so you see in the difference column, there is some red there, but that's projects that we know we have to do. I've talked to David Johnson. Those are projects that we're going to move forward with. And we are working hard with Judge Sumner and also Senator Mike Nemes. We've met with him a couple times and several folks to look at ways that we can identify funding, either through the state or through existing funding or alternative funding, which I'll talk about in a second. But I didn't want you to be alarmed by seeing the red, but we have a plan, and we're working that plan to address those deficits. But those are projects that we're going to be moving forward with. As far as the rate and rate assistance, we are still operating under the fiscal court rate resolution that was approved in 2016. As you all know, that runs through January 26th. And so we are, confident that the rates that we're collecting are going to be able to help support funding for the Bullitt County projects. And in accordance with the schedule that was approved by that fiscal court rate plan, our board will take up the next rate change in November. And so one message that we want to make sure that folks understand, we know there are certain pockets where folks have trouble paying their bill. And we have 2 existing rate assistance programs that we think will be beneficial to folks, whether it's a senior citizen discount program where folks can get a 30% discount on their sewer bill, and also those that have a need to, based upon the federal poverty guidelines, get emergency wastewater rate assistance, and they can get a 30% discount. The enrollment for our emergency wastewater rate assistance program begins November 1st. And so we would ask folks to go to our website, louisvillemsd.org, to look out for applying for those 2 programs. So let's do a quick system overview of some of the work that we are doing in Bullitt County. We have completed pump station modernization, which includes supervisory control and data acquisition system. We call it SCADA. And we've done a lot of safety improvements and some generator installments at various treatment plants. We completed the Bigwood pump station elimination, the Willowbrook emergency project. We had put in new air supply lines for that plant. The Prologis emergency project, we had to put in a new splitter box and commuter, safety improvements, and clarifier repairs. We've done a modeling of the gravity system to kind of get an idea of the I&I work that needs to be done, and we've done a lot of inspection and repair of the sewer collection system. We are currently rehabbing a contact chamber at Big Valley, and we are also doing a new screening box at the Bullitt Hills treatment plant. And just in the last couple of weeks, we've authorized an emergency structural repair at the Bullitt Hills plant as well. And our operations team and our engineering team has just done a great job of developing a proactive asset management and planned maintenance for those facilities. So the next few slides just gives you a snapshot where we will be looking at the elimination of certain facilities The first is just looking at what we're going to be doing to eliminate some projects with two different opportunities for elimination of Hillview, either Hillview, looking at a project that runs over to Zonetown Road area, as is shown on the map there. We also have a project that's called the Big Wood Pump Station Elimination. That project cost is approximately $900,000, and that project is going to be underway. We have another project, the Lower Mud Lane Interceptor Project, approximately $4 million, and that's going to be installing a new 24-inch gravity sewer from Hillview 2 to the Mud Lane Interceptor, and it will convey flow from the West Triangle Pump Station and a new regional station on Zonetown Road. And by that, we'll be eliminating the Hunters Hollow influent pump station, Hillview 2, Hillview 1, and Bullitt Hills plants. And we are getting in the process of doing the bidding for those projects in October, with completion by the end of 2025. The next project, the West Triangle Pump Station, estimated at about $5.1 million. That project is underway. The next project is the Hillview 1 and Bullitt Hills elimination. That project, the cost is $13.1 million. We'll be having a new regional pump station on Zonetown Road and eliminate both plants by pumping to the Mud Lane Interceptor, which will drain to an existing facility that we have in Jefferson County, a Derek Guthrie facility. We'll be doing a shared conveyance with the West Triangle project, and that project is approaching 60% design. And so we'll be moving forward working on those projects. We did have a meeting last night in the city of Hillview, so I can gladly report that they are very satisfied with the work that we're doing over there. The mayor has been very complimentary of our progress, and so we're going to continue working hard on that. Next project is the installation of ultraviolet and flow monitoring at Pioneer Village and Hillview number 3, approximately $1.1 million, and it will add UV disinfection, also replaces some of the existing chlorine tabs where we weren't getting sufficient contact time, and both projects are currently under construction. Pioneer Village. We have been working with this project as well. There's approximately current average day flow is about 0.34 million gallons per day. We're going to be expanding that plant to 1.25 million gallons per day, including an influent pump station and which is under design. Approximate cost for that project is $29 million. So we'd be working with the state to move that forward. And then going back to Bullitt Hills, I mentioned earlier that we authorized an emergency structural repair and digester decommissioning on that project, estimated at about $500,000. It was unbudgeted, but we have went ahead and authorized us to do that emergency project. And what they will do is eliminate the interior tank, which currently is a source of odors in that area and in the community. And we'll be reinforcing the interior wall and the tank with concrete and replacing horizontal steel ties there. So very, very antiquated system there, and we're going to do everything we can to keep it working until we can eliminate that facility. Some of the future projects that we have, an elimination of the Willowbrook wastewater treatment plant, estimated at $1.5 million. Hillview 2 wastewater treatment plant elimination after we complete the West Triangle and the Bullitt Hills and Hillview 1 elimination. That's about $600,000. Hillview 3 will be eliminated after we do the Pioneer Village expansion. That's about a $1 million project. The Prologis wastewater treatment plant will be in our long-term plan that stretches out to 2029, and we still are trying to figure out the estimated cost for that elimination. We will still do a lot of investment in sewer rehabilitation and continuing any type of improvements that we need at existing pump stations, not only to improve performance, but to address safety issues there. So we're going to be identifying elimination as many pump stations as we can, depending on available budget. And we also want to make sure that we are working in concert with the fiscal court to see where the anticipated growth and needs are in your community. And we're going to do that proactively. And we're going to continue to work with the court and of course, the judge to look at alternative funding. And we are going to make sure that we are focused on three major areas: addressing sewer overflows that have plagued the community, promoting economic development through increasing capacity, and focusing on failing systems and rehabilitation of aging infrastructure. Some of our upcoming priorities that have been already submitted for funding through the state Clean Water Revolving Fund, Pioneer Village, we have a request in for $25 million. Willowbrook wastewater treatment plant elimination, a request in for $2 million, and for collection system rehab about anywhere from $500,000 up to $10 million through the KIA, Clean Water Revolving Fund. We've also identified some community projects for the fiscal year 25 cycle, which would include Pioneer Village expansion and influent pump station, Willowbrook, and collection system rehab. And all those projects are going to be through Congress, and so we're going to need as much advocacy and support at the state level to make sure that we can get those approved. And then under new programs, under the Kentucky legislature, there are some funding available through their rainy day fund. House Bill 1, I think that's the House bill that's out there, and the Kentucky Clean Waters Program, House Bill 563. And so we're going to be working on that, working with the legislation to figure out how we can get projects eligible and make sure we understand the criteria and get projects into that process for approval by the General Assembly. So a lot of work ahead of us. We've done a lot of good work to date, but we're going to need that alternative funding to continue to be proactive and continue to do work that needs to be done. We think we are in a position to leverage a lot of assistance. We've already had commitments prior to December 21st of 2024 with supplemental requests submitted to KIA. $35 million in supplemental funds are remaining across the state, and so we want to make sure that they are focused on potential under-focused county allocations, and so we'll be lobbying for that. And then Hutter's Hollow Pump Station in Force Main, again, that is out to bid, and it is currently fully funded, and so we are going to be looking to see if we can get any additional funds there, and any additional funding we can get for Bullitt County improvements to leverage funding, if allowable, for collection system rehab and lower mud lane interceptor. Mr. Judge and magistrates, I want you to know that your MSD team is working hard, and we value being a public servant for your community, and we're going to do everything to continue to meet your needs down here in Bullitt County. So that's my update.
Okay.
I'm open for any comments or questions.
Well, I do have one comment, Mr. Parrott or Tony, if I might.
Yes.
You have the full support of our office, and I know Senator Nemus too, on the Cleaner Water Acts, because we have reached out to touch points for this presentation here is great. We've seen this before.
Yeah.
And to plant the seeds to be able to move forward with congressional and also not only through KIA, but to KIPTA as well for funding for your projects moving forward. I mean, we just completed another application. Hopefully Hunter's Hollow is fully funded now. So we shall see about that this week.
Right.
So
Good deal.
we're here for you. We cannot express our gratitude that MSD came out and took over an aging system that we were going to be strapped with somewhere around $40 to $60 million for improvements to it, or to be a backstop for it, that we didn't have the engineering or expertise to be able to handle that. And we sure appreciate MSD being in our community.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I want to echo what he said. I mean, I was part of the court 4 years ago, and the decision, it was a tough decision, you know, among the community, but it's obviously something we couldn't undertook ourselves as a fiscal court and as a Bullitt County community. So thank you for all your help and for the preparation of this presentation to show what's been done and what your plans are for the future. So thank you.
Thank you.
You got a great team, Mr. Perry.
Thank you.
They're a treat to work with.
Appreciate your time.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Okay, Tara, from Public Library.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I've been here for 2 years now, so I'll introduce myself once again. I'm Tara O'Hagan. I'm the Executive Director of the Bullitt County Public Library System, and we're happy to be here not only to present our tax rate, but also to show you how well the Bullitt County Public Library is doing. So I gave everybody some information. Try not to overload you with information. That was a lot, I know, so I'll let you read that on your own. But every year we give annual statistics to the Department for Local Government and the Kentucky Department for Library and Archives, and that's what's on this kind of long sheet. It talks about how many computer sessions, wireless sessions, and people who in our community have been trained with using library electronic resources and staff. It also talks about our collection, our circulation, how many interlibrary loans we get from throughout our state and outside of our state, so people don't have to purchase items for school. Most of those are items we do for college students. Instead of having to purchase textbooks and such, we would interlibrary loan those from somewhere else and have them check them out through us. How many library visits? Almost 260,000 library visits in the year of 23-24. And we had over 5,000 meetings held, not people, but meetings. Our newest collections, of course, is our Library of Things. That's our try it before you buy it or don't buy it at all collection, like pressure washers, tillers, lawn games, cooking pans, anything you might just use once or twice and not need again, but you don't want to purchase. You can get those at the library for free, and you get them for 28 days. We started that at all 5 locations now, and we transfer those, so if it's at Mount Washington and you need it at Nichols, we can move that out there for you. You can pick it up there, and vice versa. We have hotspots, of course. This year, E-Rate is going to be offering a discount for hotspots currently. So we're proposing to add another 100 hotspots or 150 hotspots to our collection once E-Rate kicks in November. Those are widely used for the community who can't get real good internet reception or don't have internet at all. We also loan out Chromebooks and laptops. If you have a preference of an HP or Chromebook, we do both in case you just like one or the other. Those students use those a lot over the summer. If they're not allowed to bring their one-on-ones home with them, they can check out ours and do that also. We do board games, we do video games. We have 5 different types of video games, including Switches, PS5s, and whatever the other new things are, I don't know. And our newest thing at the Nichols Library, which is kind of our agricultural library, is our seed library. It started in April or May of 2024, and since then we've already checked out given out. We call them checking out. 4,500 seed packets. So that one's been really well. We offer summer registration or summer reading. We call it a summer quest rather than just encourage kids to read, but to become involved in their community. So we had almost 4,000 people register. That's half of the population of Bullitt County for our summer quest. We offered 327 events, and we had 11,000 people attend our events. We offered programs on-site, that means at all 5 locations, as well as off-site. That might be in a park, that might be in a school, that might be at an event. And you'll see those numbers. But the total of how many programs we offered and those that attended, almost 95,000 community members attended events at our library or off our library. That's, again, that means at least one person plus of the community of Bullitt County attended a program. So some of the highlights of our 23-24 year was what I've given to you. We have a new strategic agenda. We call it a strategic plan. This is our plan for the next 5 years. We worked with a third-party library official that helped us put our strategic plan together. It comes up with 8 major goals for the library to do before 2029. One is for our collections. One, of course, is to provide excellent customer service. Our biggest one is literacy and learning, not only just for the youngest, but the young at heart as well. To create a network of community relationships, become community aware. Of course, new technologies. We're looking into some very advanced AI work, which is very exciting. Our physical network of service locations, that's our buildings, which we'll talk about in a second. And of course, our staff structure, making sure we have the right person in the right place with the right training. Those are our goals for the next 5 years. The Mount Washington branch is now joined the Central Library and are open on Sundays from 1 to 5. That makes 2 of our locations open 7 days a week. The Hillview branch will be joining that in about a year or so when they have a new completion. We've talked about the C Library at the Nichols branch location. We are at the design development stage for our Hillview branch expansion and renovation and modernization. It will go from 10,300 square feet to 24,000 square feet, all on the local property it currently is. It will include a demonstration kitchen, a learning lab, which is like a maker lab but a little more advanced. It will have triple its collection. It will still keep its amphitheater with technology advancements, including closed caption. And we will have our walking library and a sound garden there also, as well as more staff that will include a Hispanic speaking staff that will be doing a lot of outreach to our Hispanic population. All locations have library of things, and we pushed our 1,000 books before kindergarten initiative. We also have worked with Amazon for outreach. We did Amazon the Lux 7 building and reached to 600 people. Most of them were Hispanic, and all of them received library cards. So we've been working with our warehouses to get everyone a library card and resources to the library. We just last weekend had MindFest at our library, which was attended by 850 of our community members and lots of other people who had vendors there. For the first annual MindFest, it was very exciting, and it's an advancement the library hopes to do for mental health in our community. We work with Mark 12 Ministries, with Perry, and with Peace Hospital Louisville to give immediate action to anyone who is in a mental crisis if they come to the library. So if someone is having depression or they're in the library and they have a mental episode, we can call and have that person assessed immediately, have them placed into a study room where they can get immediate contact with a therapist. And that will be assessed whether they need inpatient or outpatient care. If they're harmed himself or harmed some community, we can also assess that. I've been trained. We can call Perry. He'll come immediately, and some of his staff, as well as Peace Hospital and Yovell Hospital South. So we're working really hard with that. And also our community rooms. If you haven't visited our community rooms, you should. We have a huge 700-person community room, as well as conference rooms that we have done. Many of our county, city officials have been there for groups. Bullitt County Public Schools use that quite often for their Bullitt Day trainings. And we've also had them for a lot of public groups, because we're free. We don't charge anything to have a birthday party, have an anniversary party, have a seminar, anything like that in our building. So that was 23-24. So we are excited for our future. And with all of that said, we are also happy to announce that we are lowering our tax rate for this year. Last year, our real property was set at 5.7. This year, it's lowered to 5.6. Our personal property, including inventory and transit, goes from 6.04 last year to 5.6. It's almost a point difference. That will be at a loss to us, but we believe that the library can function on quite a bit less than what we're making now, including the expansion of Hillview, which we have saved for and will not take a bond out. It will be a complete cash payment for. So we're excited about everything happening at the library. I hope everyone comes and visits. We're one of the best libraries in the state. We are largest in the state, except for that one that's a little north of us and a little south of us. And we have the best staff. And we're working with our community. We're part of the chamber, and Anita's here. She can verify that we work a lot with the chamber to work with our businesses and assist them in any way we can. And we want to work with our schools as much as possible. We're there all the time. You'll see us at functions. Please stop us, ask us questions. If you have ideas, we're always there to take those ideas and turn them into the best possibility for Bullitt County. So if you have any questions, the fidgets. Everybody's gonna ask me a fidget. I've explained it to a few people. This is our newest fidget. I'm sitting here fidgeting with it, not thinking about it. This is our we have a maker lab at the Central Library, and the school teachers come in and like to make fidgets for the kids in their classes or that they teach. So it's made in 2 parts with our 3D printer. You can put it through the bottom, that seems normal, but you can also push it through the top. But you can put it point to point, and it'll slide down also.
Oh.
So it's very much, and then once it loosens up, your also was printed like yesterday or today, because we wanted to make sure, and they had the metallic or psychedelic kind of look. It'll eventually just be like a shaker if they don't necessarily want that. But, so it's kind of a nice fidget, it's kind of cool. We had to make one with the orange metallic and black for their Halloween for their students yesterday. That delayed us for your all's making. But they come in and make posters, banners, things like that, often for their classes also. So we hope to, and those are, almost everything in our Maker Lab is free. The highest I've ever seen anything been charged was $10, or $16, something like that, for a very large banner. So feel free, and you create it, our lab's there to help you. We have a digital lab that'll help you do podcasts. They'll do music sessions. If you have a band or anything like that, they'll dub those and help you create your CDs and things like that. And we have musical instruments you can check out from Library of Things to go in and try if you want to do that.
Okay.
So, do you have any questions for me or any?
I will just say, our library system here in Bullitt County is second to none.
Oh,
It
well,
is
thank you.
amazing.
Thank
And
you.
Mind Fest was a huge hit, I feel
Yes.
like, over the weekend.
Thank
It was
you.
great. You all were a great
Did a great
host.
job.
That central library, it's beautiful. There are so many rooms in there. I can't say enough good things, but it's wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for everything you do. It's unbelievable what all the library offers, and for those people that think you just check out a book from there, they are so wrong. Yeah, it's amazing everything.
Our digital collection is probably our largest circulating. You can check out online, things like that.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Cool.
I know I'm from the Nichols area, and the branch at Nichols, it amazes me. When I pass by the cars that's there throughout the day, not just in the evenings, even throughout the day.
And we are hoping to work with the park to set up
Yes.
the story walk, as well as a sound garden there. And possibly we're looking into having internet solar benches so people can have Wi-Fi service in the park with they can plug in and with their USB or anything, and also have internet service there.
I know the community will appreciate all that.
Yeah, we appreciate them.
This 3D printer stuff's unreal. I've seen where they're building houses with 3D
Yes.
printers. I mean, but so you all made these there in the library?
They made these this morning.
Really?
Wow.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
All right, sweet. Yes.
Okay.
So we're getting a silicone 3D printer at the Hillview branch when it opens. So it'll be silicone, so if you needed a part, you could make the mold for it, and you could just reproduce the part over and over again if you wanted to do that.
There you go. All right.
Tony, do you all have a 3D printer over there?
Okay. Well, Tara, thank you, and I'll put that in the form of a motion to accept the tax rate
Thank
from
you,
the
Terry.
Bullitt County Public Library, lowering it from 5.7 to 5.6, and then on the, what I'm gonna say, the tangible side, 6.04 down to 5.6. Have a second by Third District Magistrate Johnson. Sam, call the roll, please.
Sanders.
Yes.
Logston.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Leamore.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Mr. Warren from EMA, a little update.
Morning. Quick update, we had our search and rescue monthly meeting and training this month. We reviewed the interview process. We had maintenance at the Belmont Baptist tornado siren where we replaced 2 batteries and maintenance on 3 radio tower generators. We received a grant reimbursement from KYM in the amount of $7,198.30. We gave a tour of our newly renovated EOC to Oldham County and the dispatch center with Whitney. Everything from Southeast on 245 is on Gov Deals. That ends this Friday. And then runs that we were notified of or responded to over the last month, 2 hazmats, 22 missing persons, and 1 Red Cross house fire. We participated in an exercise with the state where we test our radio communications with Frankfurt. We're working with Christie at Solid Waste on the Brooks Hill complaints. And then Whitney and I have been working at dispatch on getting the jail on the new radio system. I also need to request for approval on cutting a check in the amount of $23,296 for Gov Deals to purchase a new bucket truck. That we do have the funds for. It'll be used between EMA, Road Department, and Park and Rec.
Is that a brand new bucket truck?
It is not.
And what's the age on it?
It was a 2009 Ford F-550 with an Alltech 37-foot boom. It's valued around $35,000.
Doesn't the road department already have one?
This is a smaller version that we are able to use more for the tornado sirens because a lot of our equipment is off the ground. It's kind of in the in-between height of higher than a ladder and not
Closer to a pickup
big
instead of
bucket truck.
having to be a Class B type truck.
Right.
And this is already in your budget, you said?
Yes, sir.
I assume y'all already won the bid then, I guess, if you.
We won the bid and it's, waiting for approval from fiscal court. They said that it was okay. If it did not get approved, we would not get deemed for it. So, but we did have to go ahead and put a bid in on it.
Okay. If it's in your budget and it's something y'all need, then I'll make a motion to approve that request for the bucket truck.
Yeah, they have to have a check. They won't take a digital.
Yeah, cut a check.
I
We can't cut a check. What it is they are gonna run a cashier's check due to anything over $5,525 that is subject to be held for 7 days. So it just requires us to go down and get us a cashier's check.
Mhm.
It's the same as if it were us writing one, it'll just come directly out of our account.
Okay.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah, they won't put a hold on it.
Okay, well, I don't care how y'all pay for it. You can take $100 bills down there or wire transfer, whatever, but if it's in the budget already and it's something you need, I make a motion, you pay for it, ever how you want to pay for it. Y'all work the details out. Just get that auctioneer paid.
There you go.
I'll second.
Okay. Got a motion, but Justin, good report too.
Bruce, auctioneers don't like people bidding on something, not paying for it, do they? Yeah.
Okay, I got a motion by Second District Magistrate Logston, a second by Third District Magistrate Johnson to approve payment for the new bucket truck used for EMA and the Parks Department. Sam, call the roll, please.
Logston.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Leamore.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes,
Sanders.
Yes.
Motion carried.
thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Justin.
Robert? Good to see you. Feeling okay?
Yes, sir. Doing
Good deal.
I dropped one of these off of each one of y'all's stations there.
Yes, I've got one. Y'all all have one?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much cut and dry, I think. We spent the majority of the month paving, and we did have to take about a week break in there, down there about the 22nd of the month to catch up on some mowing and some other repairs we had going. Besides that, we pretty much spent it paving, and went back to paving on the first week of September.
Robert, I talked to you one day last week, and you said that you all was putting a page on the new bush whacker.
Yes.
And I was wondering if y'all got that completed?
No, we haven't, the metal come in there at the end of the week.
Yeah.
That we're gonna make the cage out of, and, but we've been paving out on that woods deal. So it takes every person I got, and I'm short a couple, cause somebody's calling in every day. So it takes everything we got right now to make any headway out there, cause that's about 3,600 ton just on Woodsdale, and we pave about 450 ton on a good day. So.
And that's exactly why I'm pushing for more employees for you.
When we get way out in your district, we get way out in Brian's district, that's when it slows us down. Such a far haul out there. I mean, it takes us an hour and 15 minutes a round trip on our asphalt. So, but I do have all the metal sitting there in the shop ready. Already cut the lengths. All we gotta do is get it welded up. We'll have a bushwhacker on the road second week of October is what I'm hoping. Yeah.
We still have a couple of roads back off of Chrisman Lane we need to bring in, don't we?
Yes, got Maplewood
Yeah,
and Vista Circle.
Vista Circle and Maplewood. We need to bring those into county.
Just those two. Yes, I got all the descriptions. I didn't bring those with me, and I had them laying around my desk, but I didn't know you was gonna bring it up. Yeah, I emailed them over to you. And that was, those roads were put in way back, and I think somewhere along the line, it was one of the Porter developments. I may be wrong there, but I think that's what it was, and they've done sold everything and changed it over. Now it's in the HOA hands, and so I think y'all just have to work it out in here and take those roads over. Property owners all want them to, and
So those are private roads? Are they private roads?
well, they'll fall in the category as private right now. Yeah, but, yeah, they're all subdivision roads, and we got every road around it, except for Hillview comes up in there and takes portions of every one of them. So these two roads are just left out there, and the paperwork was never finished on them. And we researched it back to the developer, and everything was up to snuff on it, but it just never did get signed off.
They're complete now. They're complete now. As
Yeah,
far as they've built
it's all
houses on
done.
all
It's
of it.
100% built, no empty lots. They all meet our standards, 20-foot wide, got curb and gutter. Yeah. Pavement's still all good on them right now. Till you get to the end there where Hillview's, it turns into Hillview about the last 120 feet, and that's not been surfaced yet, but we weren't looking to take that part. So, yeah.
Thanks for putting that list together and giving us an update. Appreciate it.
Yes, you've been doing a great job.
hopefully we'll get some new hires here real soon.
Good deal.
So I see y'all do have like a part-time road tech. Does he have a Class B? Where
No,
he
he
could
don't.
get in a dump truck?
That's why we was gonna bring him in as part-time. And then, the main thing, I was gonna bring him in and get him in a mower while everybody else is tied up. And I have talked to him. It's an inmate's what it is, one of the ex-inmates. And done a real good job. He worked with us there about 3 months. Done a super good job for us. And he is ex-military.
He can operate the paver though too, can't he?
I'd say he could learn to
Yeah.
operate the paver. Yeah, he's,
You gotta have some
yeah.
You don't want your
he's-
road all.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Really, you have to have
he's
your
worked the back of it a
Oh.
bunch, so he's got the basics of it, but yeah, it'd take a while to learn to actually get up there and run that paver. But I think on the mowers, he'd do real good on the mower, and I think he might be one that I can move over and let him do some bushwhacking also. He's pretty sharp when it comes to equipment.
You think maybe he might wanna get a Class B eventually if it
Yeah, that's what I
works
was
out?
hoping. I just seen, they're offering a deal down there, I think it's Christian County, down around Fort Campbell, to where you can go down and get your Class Bs for $2,000. That's a one-day thing. To where the state, after they passed this, DOT passed this CDL deal, you got to take that 6 weeks course, and it's about $8,000. So, but if he can get in down here, he talked like he'd go do it for that 2,000 one day. So, but if he tries to move, I don't think we put this out really to anybody yet, but it'd be all right if I hand out, what I've been working with Kay and Janice on, job classifications. That might explain that part.
Yeah, maybe even if there's anybody internal that you need more drivers, I mean, if there is a class like that, we do, I mean, similar to like the EMS and the school, I don't know why we couldn't do something for the road department, some kind of tuition assistance to help them obtain a CDL, and then they work a certain amount of time, and that's covered, and then if for some reason to keep them from moving, they'd be responsible for that if they were to leave. But if we need somebody to get a CDL, maybe we as a court can help him pay for that.
Yep.
But I'm all about giving people second chances, so I'm really glad to hear you found somebody that you've been able to use there, and they've earned your respect and worked hard enough to earn a position as part-time, because there is a lot of individuals over there on smaller type issues that are serving some time, and I know we couldn't do what we do, you know, without the help and assistance of the inmates, from helping the road department to litter abatement. So there's a lot of good guys that's been dealt, you know, a tough hand and made bad decisions, but I'm 100% about people getting a second chance, and I'm glad to see that this guy has earned, you know, your respect and everybody else that he works with to earn a spot over there.
Yeah, well, and that's, this, that I just handed you, was, we're trying to, I seen y'all's meeting a couple of months ago when they was on Chris pretty hard about pay raises and classifications and everything, so before we get in that same pickle, I wanted to try and get something clarified over there, as far as when people bump up, what the raise will be and whatnot. And that's, that part-time, I've not got them on there, but they'll be below that, Road Tech C. Road Tech C is when you actually hire in full-time, and, part-time hires in at $26 an hour, but it's got no benefits at all. Road Tech C will hire in at $22. So if this guy, if he ever gets his Class B license to where he can go full-time, he'd go from $26 down to $22, but he'd pick up his benefits. And right now, that's around $16. So it'd actually take him up to like $38 an hour.
That's the one thing I was looking at, like, start him at 26, but most of them guys are making, like, most of your road techs now are making 25 and a quarter. And And I know they don't have benefit, I mean, I know the part-time don't have benefits.
Yeah, I got this, I'll pass this out, if that's all right. It's, it explains everybody's pay.
Okay.
How many hours is part-time?
It's, probably less than 100 a month. So you'll get like 23 hours a week or something. Or if we see bad weather coming in next week, we're gonna work him a full 40 hours this week. And,
So even if they're part-time, you can still work them 40?
yeah, we work them 40, we just can't exceed 40. I looked at that again, I may have stopped at 39, but
I was
I'm
gonna
pretty
say,
sure
I'm
we'll
not
go 40.
sure.
As long as it's on certain things. And
So the part-time worker you have presently, how many hours is he getting a week or a month
he's getting,
approximately?
he's not getting what I'd like him to get, he's getting like 80-something, because he's all the time taking off on me. I'd like to get him up where he's getting them 94, 95 hours a month. So
he's averaging around 20 hours a week probably then.
Yeah, a little over 20 hours a week.
He says he's doing about 80.
80,
So,
oh, 80.
Yeah, that's
80 a
all
month.
this one's getting.
but he's eligible to work up to 100, so.
Yeah. I think it's 99 hours he can do and stay part-time. But that's what I just gave you. It does break down everybody's pay. And, I mean, we got nine out of, our 15 that's already at 20 years or above. So that's why I need to start building this Class C up and start working some people up the ranks. Because, we could lose several guys pretty quick due to retirement.
That is correct.
So then we'll really get in a pickle pretty quick.
Okay, any other questions for Robert? Well, and since we were on the part with the employee part, I'll make a motion to hire let me get his name, the part-time person for the
Know his name.
road department
David.
while we're here. David Rayleigh,
Yeah.
at a rate of $26 an hour.
I'll second that.
Got a second from Second District Magistrate Logston.
So I just got,
Go ahead.
so on your part-time people, they all make more, 26 or more. And a lot of your full-time people only make 25 and a quarter, 25.48. I know they don't get benefits.
Yeah.
But some of them have other jobs, full-time jobs and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
So they have benefits at other places. I kind of think they should stay at whatever the minimum rate or whatever this, we're looking at a new starting rate, $22 if we pass this eventually. Then we're going to take them back down from 26 to 22.
If they move over to full-time and start collecting benefits, then yeah, they go from 26 down to 22 and start back up. Yeah.
Does the employee have an option if they have other jobs? I mean, do they have an option? Could there be an option where they waive their benefits but then make more per hour? Is that a possibility? Or I don't know legally, if you work, can you,
No, I'd have to,
You can waive.
can you work full-time and waive your benefits? I mean, that might be an option too, because it saves the county a lot of money on health insurance, all the other, I mean, there's a tremendous amount. And there's a lot of employees that may not need them. Their wife may work or some maybe.
I have it through my husband,
Through your
and I waived mine.
So, I mean, it might be something to think about is, if somebody, because we talked about this, I think, with Walt one time about long-term, retirement and all that don't mean as much to some people nowadays as it does. I remember having, I think, this conversation And, you know, it might be an option where they can make more per hour and then check a box where they're waiving all benefits. But for example, even those that are making 25 and a quarter, you know, they might could go up to a certain, and I don't know, that's something we could talk about, not hash out right now, but it's something to think about, that if an employee wanted a higher hourly wage, then perhaps they could waive their benefits. And in lieu of that, I think the county would save a tremendous amount of money in the long run, possibly.
I think they just have to show proof that they do have benefits, because by law, you have to carry insurance if you can. So I think,
Okay.
like again, if the spouse carried, they just have to show proof.
Or like in Brian's instance, if they have another job
Or another
somewhere and
job.
that job provides it and they're taking in benefits from there.
Right.
I don't know,
They
it's just
can't
something,
waive it and not have benefits. They can't do that.
okay, it's just something to think about, I don't know.
But that'd be like, if we hire them in as Class C, instead of 22, we could bump them on up to whatever, that 26 without the benefits or something, is what you're getting at?
Oh, I'm just getting it, Brian.
Yeah,
Something similar to that. I've just seen this paper, so I've not even had time to do homework on it. I didn't, but he was just questioning the starting pay for that individual, and because of some other people making less. But like you said, it makes sense to me that if you made a little bit less, I mean, obviously, I think if you're not gonna take benefits, then I do see a justification to make more per hour. But for those other individuals that might be taking benefits and not knowing that there's an option to make more per hour, perhaps they could waive their benefits if they had proof of having, like Tammy had said, insurance provided by another employer or by a spouse.
Well, I kind of have maybe a question for EMS, like Chris or Rebecca. So like your part-time people, do they they don't come in making more though, do they? I mean, per hour? That's kind of my point.
I do see Brian's, what he's saying, and I guess my concern is if you're gonna start them out at 26 an hour, and they can work as many hours as they want, apparently. You said they could work up to 40 hours a while ago.
Well,
I guess my
they can only
concern
work-
would be, why would they ever wanna
Well,
go?
it's less than 100.
They can't work more than
Yeah.
99
can't go over
hours a
100.
month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be part-time.
But if you take the $22 an hour times 40 hours, that person's making $880 a week. And you take someone you're paying $26 an hour, for 20 hours, they're making $520.
Yeah. But
And
that
they're only
person-
working 3 days.
But that person making $22 has got the benefits. So he's costing us a whole lot more than that
Right.
$880.
Yeah,
And your
I know.
retirement, your social security.
That's a lot. It adds up. That's a lot.
Yeah, it adds up to a whole lot. It's
I mean, I
between
just think
16
as
and
far as
$18.
the
I
department,
guess my concern would be.
under
if they
fiscal
ever
court
go.
should be kind of across the board. So if it's part-time, you know, I don't see where the part-time people should make more than the full-time people. That's just my theory. So, because they said it doesn't at EMS,
And,
but
yeah, in all reality, they don't make more. They're making less because they're getting no benefits. So,
like the one part-time, he's a full-time firefighter, right?
yes, he is.
So he's got
Yeah.
his benefits,
Yeah.
and he's
But
getting,
like this other guy,
Right.
Even if they're part-time? So we still pay into the retirement when they're part-time?
so,
I do know that because of me. I know I am retired and the county still has to pay into the retirement.
Can something that, and I don't know whether it's available for non-hazardous, but for instance, with the sheriff's office, prior to my becoming sheriff, the sheriff's office had a number of retired sheriff's deputies that came back. And the sheriff's office was still paying, matching their salary at 44% of their salary to the Kentucky retirement system. But there's a statute that allows for retired hazardous duty at any rate, maybe non-hazardous as well. I think it bears looking into. When I came in, I had all of our retired people that had come back switch over to being annual contract employees. And we thereafter did not have to send the matching funds to the
that first year that I became sheriff, we saved over $100,000 that we had been paying up to the Kentucky retirement system, and the employee got no benefit from it whatsoever. And I urge you guys to look into whether that is available for these other retired employees that work for the county, because it mounts up very quickly to be a tremendous savings. Now, I don't know what the match is for the folks at the road department, or the folks in EMS or so forth, but at the time in 2019, it was 44% of everybody's salary had to be paid to Frankfurt, and it didn't matter. So it may be an option that would be a tremendous savings for you.
When you say annual contract, what do you mean by that?
The statute provides for you, they have to agree that they come back and work, and, but they are only working on a year-to-year basis.
Okay.
There's no.
But it's not considered like a 1099?
No.
Because you're telling them when to.
They are a complete employee and so forth, but they are, their contract is year to year to year.
Okay.
And it's like I say, it has saved us over the last 5 years. I'm sure it saved the Bullitt County Sheriff's Office in excess of $500,000, or saved the county
Right.
$500,000 in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think the discussion warrants further investigation. We can look into all this. I mean, we can sit up here and debate this all day. So, and Brian, I hear exactly what you're saying about the starting wages of the part-time folks too. That's something that we can include when we address this on down the road. Yeah.
All
Part-time.
No, I understand that all the way around now.
We don't want to pull the rug out from under him though and give him, what other is there any other part-time employee that we have currently?
One.
Yes.
Whether you got two, you got Dwayne Price on there too.
Yeah, you got
Okay.
Russell Price and Dwayne Price.
Yeah.
That's on there for part-time.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's obviously worked, he's worked longer and worked himself up and got a raise, and he's above the starting.
Whether they got,
Oh, they started him at the 29?
they got
Is that what
CDLs,
it says?
Yeah.
26.
You started him at 29?
26.
26.
Dwayne Price, 29.
29.
29 on here.
That's what it says on the paper.
Who's the other one?
Russell Price.
I just want to look at all of our part-time, and yeah, because there'll be three different, but,
Jacob Wood on the bottom.
all right.
He was just hired.
He doesn't have a Class B.
Well, Dwayne does.
Yeah.
But he's still part-time.
Well, not that much. Not, it's like 30%.
Part-time got 50 cents.
They didn't specify, so whatever that everybody got $2 on.
I'll have to look at mine.
We haven't paid them. So it needs to straighten out. They haven't worked since raises went through.
I was thinking,
How long have they been there, Robert? The two prices, okay.
They'll go back down to 26. And the new guy would do 26.
Well, on this sheet you gave us here, where would the new hire, where would he fall in? What category here? If we didn't talk about benefits at all? He'd be Road Tech C?
Actually, everything on your list got benefits.
Okay, let's pretend like it didn't, like, which one would he fall into category-wise? Like if benefits wasn't, would he be, which one of these would he be? Okay,
Whoever moves out of part-time, then he'll move into that Road Tech C.
Okay, so the Rotec C is kind of the starting point, and it goes up from there, but that's where he would be if he was hired as full-time today, you'd hire him there? Okay.
But he's had to have his Class B to get hired in.
Right.
You gave the part-time help 3%. What was in
Yeah, what it
the
was.
budget?
Yeah, come up to 50 cents, I think is what it come up to.
Have you talked to him at all about pay or anything?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
About 75 cents.
I mean, that pay rate was set, when we come up with part-time about 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they got set.
Okay, for now, I got a motion for myself, second by Second District Magistrate Logston, to approve the hire of, guys, the gentleman's name again, I apologize. David Rayleigh, at $26 an hour. And we can further discuss the rates moving forward on any more new hires or establishing something with the information that we have in front of us to make the road department similar to what EMS is with starting classes moving all the way up as they move up in their skills for pay increases. No different than like a Road Tech C, B, going up to the CDL, the increases moving forward. But I think for today, we need clarity to hire Mr. Rayleigh at $26 an hour. Any other discussion? Brian, are you good with that for today?
Well, I mean, I kind of think they should not make more than a full-time person that's been there 6 to 20 years.
Right. No,
It's just my personal opinion.
No, and I agree with
And I
that,
can
but that's
understand
something.
not the benefits, but hiring him as part-time.
Yeah, and let us take the opportunity to look at this, moving forward. Is that fair enough? Okay.
Yeah, I think if anything, we can look at possibly, there's some weird numbers around there on some of those in quarters and 48, and I mean, really kind of clean that up a little bit and move them, even if it's moving some of them others 50 cents up or something, but try to get some consistency there.
Sure, and that's what Janice and Robert and Kay and them have been working on, to making it more consistent like what we've done with EMS group.
But
Okay.
as far as morale is concerned, I mean, nobody really knows, I guess, I guess people do.
No,
But
they-
everybody's under the understanding that, he's making that, but he's not getting benefits, and everybody's kind of okay with that.
I ain't had no bad feedback from anybody over.
Okay. So, Sam, call the roll, please.
Johnson,
Yes.
Flemmel,
Yes.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
Sanders,
Yes.
Logston,
Yes, but I do want to revisit this.
Yeah.
motion carried.
Thank
We
you.
were tabled.
First reading public, thank you, Robert. First reading public hearing of zoning ordinance 24-21, Lloyd and Wyota Merriman. Keith?
Charlie and his whole staff is in training, so I'm going to do this for him today.
Oh, I was wondering what you were doing.
That's why I'm here. I didn't take that job on. So,
That's fine.
docket number 2024Z-45, Lloyd and Wyota Merriman, rezoned from Ag to R1 at 3282 Deatsville Road, number 073-000-00-049, located in the unincorporated area of the county, 2 acres more or less, splitting off 2 acres from 92 for single-family dwelling, and this falls under the comprehensive plan of agriculture, rural, residential. The Bullitt County Planning Commission, pursuant to provisions of KRS 100.2111, held a public hearing concerning said application on August 8th, 2024. Based upon the testimony of the applicant and/or proponents, the Bullitt County Planning Commission finds the map amendment is in agreement with the county's comprehensive plan. Because of the testimony received at the public hearing as summarized herein, the Bullitt County Planning Commission recommends this requested zoning change be approved and sends a favorable recommendation to Bullitt County Fiscal Court.
Thank you, Keith. Tammy?
Commonwealth of Kentucky, County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 24-21, an ordinance relating to the changing of zoning of certain property from agricultural to R1 residential. The property in question is 2 acres, more or less, located at 3282 Deatsville Road, parcel number 073-000-00-049, in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendations of the Commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court, and whereas the Fiscal Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes, and determines that the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court, County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission, in docket number 2024Z-45, is hereby changed from agricultural to R1 residential. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be effective and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 17th day of September 2024, to be given second reading at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the first day of October 2024.
Thank you, Tammy. Anyone here to speak for the zoning ordinance 24-21, Lloyd and Wyoda, Merriman? Hearing or seeing none, anyone here to speak against zoning ordinance 24-21, Lloyd and Wyoda, Merriman? Hearing or seeing none, we're going to skip number 2. Third action item on it is the Ridgeway Library deed. Ms. Baker?
Yes, Judge, I've received that, I reviewed it, it is good to go for $1. County gets the Ridgeway Library, and I think Kevin Mooney's very happy about it.
Okay, good deal. Thank you, Tara, and the board. So I'm going to put that in the form of a motion to accept the deed and the transfer of it to the Bullitt County Fiscal Court.
I'll second.
I got a second by First District Magistrate Sanders. Any other discussion, members? Sam, call the roll, please.
Lehmel,
Yes.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
Sanders,
Yes.
Logston,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
motion carried.
Thank you. Contract with Fick Construction for the pavilion at the park behind Nichols Elementary School. The contractor wanted a contract with us. Tammy, did you get a?
Yes, I reviewed it, Judge, it's completely fine, and it's below bidding requirements, so it didn't have to be bid, but it did have to be approved by the court.
Okay. I'm going to put that, go ahead, Vera, jump in there.
Okay. I'll make a motion to accept the bid from Fick Construction, LLC, for the pavilion at Nichols Elementary, for a total of $37,600.
I'll second.
Got a motion by First District Magistrate Sanders, a second by Third District Magistrate Johnson to approve the contract and the expense of building the pavilion behind the Ridgeway Library for the Nichols Park. Sam, call the roll, please.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
Sanders,
Yes.
Logston,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lehmel,
Yes.
motion carried.
There you go. And the next action item is we have some in the plan and zoning. They have a router, a modem, another router, and some sound equipment that they're wanting to surplus.
I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Okay.
Surplus items for planning and zoning.
I'll second.
Got a motion by 4th District Magistrate Bleemel, a second by 3rd District Magistrate Johnson to surplus the items as attached for planning and zoning. Sam, call the roll, please.
Sanders.
Yes.
Logston.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Leamle.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you all. New hires and promotions, we've then talked about it, Mr. Rayleigh, but also planning and zoning. We have the opportunity here to hire Samantha Satterley, of which, as a full-time planner, I do know a little bit about her background, not personally, but from the expressions of Charlie and Janice, their recommendations on the interview section. I was just taking a moment to catch my breath. Okay? So the starting salary's $50,000 a year. She has done, what I'm going to say, she has done remarkable research. She worked with the public library, with Tara and them, and she also, she was real good with the brownfield sites and the, what I would say, the Valley of the Drums as well, or not Valley of the Drums, Smith Stump in particular. So she has experience, she's gained experience, she's someone that in the future we could have another Charlie.
Is this a new position, or is it
No,
a
it's-
position being filled?
It's one being filled that we have. Yeah,
Okay,
we've been
thank you.
short on this Vera for over there for a while now.
Well, I'll second that motion.
And it's second by Second District Magistrate Logston. Any other discussion, members? Sam, call the roll, please.
Logston.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Leamle.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes,
Sanders.
Yes.
Motion carried.
thank you. At this time, Vera, do you have anything else for today?
No, I don't, thank you.
Okay, Sean,
No, thanks for coming, everybody.
Karen,
I don't either, but it was a very awesome meeting.
thank you. Brian?
Has there, I know I met with you yesterday, but has there been any, I should have said something to Robert, anything about the Leyva, Bogart?
Yeah,
27th
27.
September?
Okay.
Judge, if I might bring up, and I would, I'd like to ask everybody to please pray for the family of a young fellow named Josh Phipps. He was a deputy sheriff with the Russell County Sheriff's Office. He was killed last night. He and members of several agencies were searching for a suspect that had fled on foot. He was ambushed by this suspect. In an exchange of gunfire, he was killed. He was a 3-year veteran with the Russell County Sheriff's Office. So please pray for him, pray for his family, pray for the entire Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Derek Holston is the sheriff there in Russell County. This happened in Jamestown. For those of you that may not be familiar with where Russell County is, it's down on Lake Cumberland. Jamestown is the county seat, and anyway, it's just a terrible tragedy that he suffered. And it, unfortunately, all of our law enforcement folks are subject to having to do these things. I thought about this a lot myself. Our deputies and our officers here in Bullitt County are weekly having to get out and search for people that may or may not be laying in wait for them as they get there. So please, just everybody pray for them.
We sure will. We're down there quite frequently.
Thank you.
Thank you, Walt. Anything else, Brian?
No, that was
Okay.
all.
Faith, thank you for coming today. City Council member Teresa Preston, City Council from Lebanon Junction, and our esteemed County Clerk, Kevin, thank you for being here. I do have one announcement that I'll send the email out, but I've received this morning from the United States Army. It says, notice of increased training noise, military training from September 18th through October 8th at Fort Knox may be louder than normal at time. Exercises involving aircraft maneuvers and weapons firing in daytime and nighttime hours are an important aspect of maintaining critical capabilities and readiness of all units. This notice is provided as a courtesy for the residents of the greater Fort Knox area. Increased noise and vibrations may be experienced during this period. And for those of you who doesn't have quite the tenure that maybe some of us does, when Fort Knox used to rattle the windows in this city, I think you're going to be experiencing that again for the next couple of years. So that's all I have. And Vera?
Yes, it's 11:10. It's time to adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion by First District Magistrate Sanders, a second by Fourth District Magistrate Blemo to adjourn the Bullitt County Fiscal Court of September the 17th, 2024. Sam, call the roll, please.
Johnson?
Yes.
Blemo?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders? Yes. Logston?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Hey, Tammy, if you and Brian have just a minute, we can just, yeah, we can just,